Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. So, not only am I a classic rock musicologist, but I had previously mentioned I've been watching and studying horror movies literally my whole life. So, every once in a while, I'm going to do reviews of new horror movies. Now, I've done two other ones. One thing I'm going to mention, and my opinion's no better than anybody else's, except that I got a long history of watching millions of horror movies. But the movies that I'm reviewing, I actually see in the theater. Me and my wife and my family, we love going to the movie theaters. So just always remember, it's always a different experience when you see a movie in a theater versus when you watch it at home. I don't care how big your TV screen is. I don't care how great your surround system may be. And my surround system, by the way, is amazing. It's still not the same as sitting in a big movie theater with popcorn and getting into a movie. Plenty of movies I've seen in the movie theater where I thought were really, really good that I know if I saw them at home, I would just think they would probably just be okay. So just something to consider. Anyway, I recently saw two more horror movies in the theater. And if you're a Long Islander, great news. The Seaford movie theater is open again. I think the prices of movies are outrageous, like probably most people. And no, I'm not doing an official plug or anything, but they're reopened, and their full price at a movie for a movie there is $9, and if you see a movie before 4, it's only $5, and their popcorn's like $5. Great theater, multiplex, and it's family owned. So my little plug: if you're on Long Island, you want to save money and see first-run movies in the theaters, check out the Seaford movie theater. It's great. These are the two movies I recently saw. We're going to start with the one I saw first, which was Barbarian. Rotten Tomatoes and all the critics said it's the scariest movie ever in a long time. And I fell for that, and I said, well, I got to go see this. And obviously, I don't want to give too many plot points away, but basically it starts out a woman's going on a job interview. She rents out like an Airbnb house in literally what looks like the worst place on earth. It's a suburb of Detroit, but it's so over the top. I mean, it looks like a nuclear bomb hit this place, except for this one house. Little pointers like that, it was just so over the top. Anyway, she goes in. You've seen the commercial probably. There's a guy already living there. And you already think, well, there's the whole plot. The guy's a nut job. But it's got a nice twist pretty quickly in the movie, and turns out to be something completely different. It switches from there, good plot twist there. All of a sudden, you get Justin Long in the movie. Now, I think he's a great actor. I love everything he's in, pretty much. I think he's the real deal. And he plays a really good backstory. He's a Hollywood actor, gets accused of something, and his career is very quickly going to go down the tube. Turned out he owns the house that they go to, and he winds up going there, and he gets involved in the plot. And then it turns out to be something completely different. It's a good idea. The problem for me is I'm a fan of Kiss, not the band, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And I can't stand when movies just go so over the top and they throw in a million directions. And I found that this movie did too many plot points and too much over the top. The neighborhood was ridiculous. There's a scene with the police that's just so over the top ridiculous that little things like that just ruin a movie for me. It just loses the sense of reality. Even in horror movies, there's a sense of reality, and this one just normal stuff that I just found ridiculous. And then the problem I had, I'm a big fan of endings, and I think most people are. If you think of the best movies you've ever seen in your life, you can guarantee that it's because the ending was great. Twilight Zone was a TV show that mastered great endings, and the best movies, the best horror movies, always have a great ending. In fact, you could think of movies that were good but had such great endings that they became really good, like that Nicole Kidman movie. I always think of The Others, was just okay, but the ending was so great. And then, of course, great movies that have great endings, like, The Sixth Sense and the original Omen and The Exorcist and the best of all, the original Night of the Living Dead. Just endings that blow you away that you never forget. This movie, unfortunately, I'm not going to give it away, had the potential to have a really good ending, and then they tagged on another ending that was just so ridiculous that it just completely ruined the movie for me. So at the end of the day, Barbarian, the critics and Rotten Tomatoes saying it's the scariest movie in a long time, and it got like a 94. Not from me. I give it a thumbs down. If I was going to give 5 stars being a classic, perfect movie, and 1 star having no redeeming value at all, I'd give this movie like maybe a 2. So I was really disappointed. Let's go to the next one I saw, which got not as good review on Rotten Tomatoes, and I loved, and my family loved, and that's called Smile. Brand new movie, I believe, and I saw it in the theater. And this one's a really cool movie. I did not know what to expect. I had seen the trailer. It's not going to give too much away. It's a doctor. She works at a hospital. She helps people who are mentally ill. She gets a terrible thing happens with her and one of her patients. She witnesses this horrific, absolutely traumatic incident, like a suicide. And then it turns out that she, as a person, not only a doctor, she has a tragic backstory. She's got some personal relationship issues with her fiance and her sister and family. And then because of this horrendous incident that she was subject to, that greatly affects her. And she's losing her sense of reality. Or is she? Is it this evil suicide smiling thing? Is it her sense of reality? Losing her sense of world? Is it supernatural? Is it paranormal? Is it demonic? A lot of things are thrown at you, and it creates this chain reaction through the movie. And I really, really liked it. It kind of reminded me, there's this little movie that came out a couple of years ago that I just thought was the greatest. I had seen it in the movies, saw it on Showtime after that a couple of times, called It Follows. I told everybody to see that. Some people didn't like it. I still think it's an amazing movie. This movie is kind of reminiscent of that as far as chain reaction, something, this evil that continues. And how are you going to escape that? And can you break the pattern? And if you can break the pattern, are you willing to do it? And in this movie, Smile, kind of reminiscent of that. I like it because the doctor is like this heroic figure, and she actually figures out how to break it. And will she do it? And can she do it? And that's the great thing about this movie. It has what I call, and people who know me, an Alan Rosenberg ending. It's got a great ending. And so, major thumbs up. Is it a classic? No. Is it really, really good? Strong 3.5, maybe even 4 stars? Yeah, it is. Smile. Big thumbs up, big recommendation. So there you go. If you're a horror movie person and you can see it in the theaters, definitely go see Smile. Barbarian, I was not a fan of, nor was anybody in my family, so I wasn't alone on that. And I imagine since we didn't like it in the movies, it'd be worse on TV. Anyway, let me know what you think. I want your opinions. I posted a couple other movie reviews. People completely disagreed with me, and that's fine. That's great. Maybe sometimes you're in a mood and something struck me, and maybe it's not as good as I thought. Or maybe because I saw it in a theater and they didn't. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you are new, please hit subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're a music guy, that's what most of this channel is, music. And please check out those. But every once in a while, if I see a horror movie, I'll probably do some kind of review because I am a horror movie guy for sure. Thanks for tuning in. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy out there, and continue tuning in if you can. Thanks so much. Have a good one.